Unit 8, 351, Admonition, 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 a warning or piece of advice. Warning, caution, encouragement. 352, Animosity, 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 strong hostility, hostility, enmity, friendship. 353, Apparatus, 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 a complex structure within a system or an item used for a specific purpose. Equipment, gear. NA 354, Archaeology, 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 the study of human history through excavation. Paleontology, History. NA 355, Atrocity, 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 an extremely wicked or cruel act. Outrage, horror. Kindness. 356, Cabal, 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 a secret political faction or clique. Faction, sect. Mainstream. 357, Certitude, 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 absolute certainty or conviction. Confidence, assurance. Doubt. 358, Coterie, 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 a small exclusive group of people. Clique, circle, crowd. 359, Fervor, 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 intense and passionate feeling. Enthusiasm, zeal, apathy. 360, Hydrophobia, 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 an extreme or irrational fear of water. Aquaphobia, fear of water. Hydrophilia. 361, Intuition, 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 the ability to understand something instinctively. Instinct, insight. Reasoning. 362, Kleptomaniac, 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 a person with a compulsion to steal. Thief, pilferer, law-abider. 363, Manifesto, 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 a public declaration of intentions or policy. Declaration, proclamation, retraction. 364, Molecule, 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 a group of atoms bonded together. Compound, particle, atom. 365, Opportunist, 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 a person who exploits circumstances for gain. Self-seeker, pragmatist. Altruist. 366, Pachyderm, 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 a large thick-skinned mammal. Elephant, rhinoceros. NA 367, Pli, 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 a fold or layer, especially in ballet or textiles. Fold, crease. Smoothness. 368, Raconteur, 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 a skilled storyteller. Narrator, storyteller. Listener. 369, Solitude, 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 the state of being alone. Isolation, seclusion. Companionship. 370, Ameliorate, 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 to make something better. Improve, enhance. Worsen. 371, Besiege, 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 to surround and attack. Encircle, blockade. Liberate. 372, Bluff, 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 to deceive someone by pretending. Deceive, feign. Reveal. 373, Conflated, 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 to combine two or more things into one. Merged, fused. Separated. 374, Edify, 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 to instruct or improve morally or intellectually. Educate, enlighten. Mislead. 375, Falter, 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 to lose strength or momentum. Hesitate, waver. Persist. 376, Instigate, 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 to bring about or initiate. Provoke, incite. Prevent. 377, Lionize, 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 to treat someone as a celebrity. Praise, glorify. Ignore. 378 Mystify, 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 to confuse or puzzle someone, bewilder, perplex, clarify. 379 Ogle, 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 to stare at in a lecherous manner, stare, leer, ignore. 380 Promote, 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 to support or actively encourage, encourage, advance, oppose. 381 Acquired, 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 gain by effort or experience, obtain, learned, inborn. 382 Articulate, 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 fluent and coherent in speech, eloquent, expressive, inarticulate. 383 Blithe, 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 showing a casual and cheerful indifference, carefree, lighthearted, worried. 384 Colossal, 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 extremely large, gigantic, enormous, tiny. 385 Graphic, 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 giving a vivid picture, explicit, detailed, vague. 386 Lethal, 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 sufficient to cause death, deadly, fatal, harmless. 387 Lilliputian, 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 extremely small or trivial, tiny, miniature, giant. 388 Meddlesome, 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 interfering in others' affairs, intrusive, interfering, respectful. 389 Nondescript, 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 lacking distinctive features, plain, unremarkable, distinctive. 390 Oracular, 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 resembling an oracle, prophetic, prophetic, wise, uninspired. 391 Pathological, 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 involving or caused by disease, diseased, abnormal, healthy. 392 Pertinacious, 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 holding firmly to an opinion or course of action, stubborn, persistent, yielding. 393 Receptive, 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 willing to consider new ideas, open-minded, responsive, resistant. 394 Salacious, 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 having or conveying inappropriate interest in sexual matters, lewd, obscene, modest. 395 Trifling, 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 unimportant or trivial, insignificant, minor, important. 396 Unintended, 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 not planned or meant, accidental, unplanned, deliberate. 397 Veritable, 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 true, real or genuine, actual, authentic, false. 398 Viscous, 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 having a thick, sticky consistency, thick, syrupy, runny. 399 Voracious, 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 having a great appetite, gluttonous, insatiable, satisfied. 400 Headlong, 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 with great speed, or without thinking, rashly, hastily, cautiously. Unit 9. 401 Advent, 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 arrival of a notable person or event, arrival, emergence, departure. 402 Affront, 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 an action or remark that causes outrage, insult, offense, compliment. 403 Archetype, 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 an original model or type, prototype, exemplar, derivative. 404 Arsenal, 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 a collection of weapons or resources, armory, stockpile. NA 405 Aureole, 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 a radiant light around a person, halo, nimbus. NA 406 Behemoth, 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 something enormous in size. Giant, Leviathan, dwarf. 407 cameo, 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 a short cameo appearance or small role. Appearance, bit part. Main role. 408 canto, 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 a principal division of a long poem. Section. NA 409 carat, carat, carat. Unit of gemstone weight. Unit measure. NA 410 contusion, 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 a bruise, bruise, black and blue mark. NA 411 entomology, 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 the study of insects. NA 412 epicure, 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 a person with refined taste in food. Gourmet, gastronome, peasant. 413 epithet, 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 an adjective describing a characteristic. Label, nickname. NA 414 excerpt, 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 a short extract from a text. Extract, passage. NA 415 flair, 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 a natural talent or aptitude. Talent, knack. Ineptitude. 416 flow, 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 a sheet of floating ice. Ice sheet, pack. NA 417 foreboding, 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 a feeling that something bad will happen. Premonition, apprehension, optimism. 418 gambit, 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 a maneuver to gain advantage. Strategy, tactic, blunder. 419 indenture, 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 a formal legal agreement. Contract, agreement, informal arrangement. 420 indignity, 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 an act that causes shame. Humiliation, shame, honor. 421 insurgent, 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 a rebel or revolutionary. Rebel, loyalist. 422 largesse, 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 generosity in giving. Generosity, munificence. Stinginess. 423 lineage, 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 line of descent, ancestry, ancestry, heritage. Progeny. 424 machinations, 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 plots or schemes. Schemes, intrigues. Honesty. 425 malefactor, 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 a person who commits a crime. Criminal, wrongdoer. Benefactor. 426 mote, 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 a tiny particle. Speck, particle. NA 427 neophyte, 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 a beginner or novice. Novice, rookie. Expert. 428 odyssey, 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 a long adventurous journey. Journey, voyage. Stay. 429 plumage, 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 a bird's feathers. Feathers, plumage. NA 430 premonition, 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 a strong feeling that something is about to happen. Foreboding, hunch. Ignorance. 431 prodigy, 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 a person with exceptional talent. Genius, wunderkind, ordinary person. 432 scamp, 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 a mischievous person. Rascal, rogue. Saint. 433 sleeper, 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 something achieving unexpected success. Dark horse, surprise. Hit. 434 stricture, 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 a criticism or restriction. Criticism, limitation. Praise. 435 termination, 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 the end of something. Conclusion, cessation, beginning. 436 tightwad, 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 a very stingy person. Miser, cheapskate. Spender. 437 tome, 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 a large scholarly book, volume book, pamphlet. 438, accentuate, 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 to make more noticeable, emphasize, highlight, downplay. 439, amplify, 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 to increase in strength or volume, increase, intensify, reduce. 440, amputate, 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 to cut off a limb or appendage, remove, excise, attach. 441, bask, 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 to lie in warmth or pleasure, revel, laze, shiver. 442, brandish, 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 to wave something as a threat, wield, flourish, conceal. 443, capitulate, 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 to surrender under agreed conditions, surrender, yield, resist. 444, dehydrate, 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 to lose water, dry, desiccate, hydrate. 445, demystify, 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 to make less mysterious, clarify, explain, obfuscate. 446, desiccate, 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 to remove moisture, dry, dehydrate, moisten. 447, disembark, 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 to leave a ship or aircraft, debark, unload, embark. 448, exaggerate, 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 to represent something as greater than it is, overstate, embellish, understate. 449, flick, 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 to make a short, quick movement, snap, flip, hold. 450, flinch, 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 to make a sudden movement from fear, wince, recoil, confront. Unit 10. 451, gainsay, 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 to deny or contradict, deny, oppose, affirm. 452, impinge, 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 to have an effect or impact, affect, influence, avoid. 453, implicate, 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 to show involvement in wrongdoing, involve, incriminate, exonerate. 454, invigorate, 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 to give strength or energy to, energize, rejuvenate, exhaust. 455, nip, 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 to pinch or squeeze sharply, pinch, squeeze, release. 456, raise, 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 to completely destroy, demolish, obliterate, build. 457, reform, 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 to make changes for improvement, improve, amend, degrade. 458, rehabilitate, 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 to restore to health or former condition, restore, recover, debilitate. 459, stratify, 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 to arrange in layers, layer, categorize, mix. 460, sully, 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 to damage the purity of, taint, defile, cleanse. 461, unfetter, 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 to release from restraint, free, liberate, restrain. 462, waft, 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 to float or drift through the air, drift, float, sink. 463, accessible, 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 easy to approach or use, reachable, available, inaccessible. 464, acetic, 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 relating to vinegar, vinegary, tart, sweet. 465, amorous, 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 showing love, loving, affectionate, cold. 466, antediluvian, 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 extremely old-fashioned, prehistoric, outdated, modern. 467, archaic, 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 very old or outdated, ancient, obsolete, modern. For 68, aseptic, 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 free from contamination, sterile, clean, contaminated. For 69, azure, 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 bright blue in color, sky blue, cerulean, gray. For 70, bantering, 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 characterized by playful teasing, teasing, playful, serious. For 71, brindled, 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 having a patchy coloring, striped, streaked, solid. For 72, censorious, 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 highly critical, critical, fault-finding, approving. For 73, cogent, 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 convincing or believable, compelling, persuasive, unconvincing. For 74, convivial, 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 friendly and lively atmosphere, festive, sociable, sullen. For 75, disputatious, 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 fond of arguing, argumentative, contentious, agreeable. For 76, distraught, 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 deeply upset or agitated, distressed, upset, calm. For 77, epistolary, 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 relating to letters, letter writing, corresponding. NA. For 78, extraneous, 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 irrelevant to the subject, irrelevant, unrelated, relevant. For 79, fawning, 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 displaying exaggerated flattery, servile, obsequious, aloof. For 80, impecunious, 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 having little or no money, poor, penniless, wealthy. For 81, incoherent, 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 expressed in an incomprehensible way, unclear, disjointed, coherent. For 82, indomitable, 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 impossible to subdue, invincible, unconquerable, submissive. For 83, inexplicable, 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 unable to be explained, unexplainable, mysterious, explainable. For 84, ironic, 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 using words to convey opposite meaning, sarcastic, satirical, straightforward. For 85, ludicrous, 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 so foolish it is amusing, absurd, ridiculous, serious. For 86, meek, 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 quiet, gentle, and submissive, submissive, mild, assertive. For 87, mercurial, 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 subject to sudden changes of mood, volatile, fickle, stable. For 88, mincing, 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 affectedly dainty in manner, dainty, prim, unpretentious. For 89, musty, 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 smelling of damp and mold, moldy, stale, fresh. 490, negligent, 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 failing to take proper care, careless, inattentive, careful. 491, pliable, 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 easily bent or influenced, flexible, supple, rigid. For 92, queasy, 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 feeling nauseated, nauseous, unsettled, stable. For 93, questionable, 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 doubtful as regards truth, dubious, suspect, certain. For 94, remunerative, 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 financially rewarding, profitable, lucrative, unprofitable. For 95, spry, 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 active and lively, nimble, agile, lethargic. For 96, stolid, 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 showing little emotion, impassive, unresponsive, emotional. For 97, strident, 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 loud and harsh, raucous, grating, soft. For 98, subliminal, 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 below the threshold of conscious perception, subconscious, hidden, conscious. For 99, succulent, 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 juicy and tasty, juicy, flavorful, dry. 500, unimpeachable, 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 not able to be doubted or criticized, flawless, impeccable, impeachable. Unit 11, 501, acoustics, 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 properties of sound in space, sound quality. NA 502, arrogance, 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 overbearing pride, hubris, conceit, humility. 503, axiom, 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 a self-evident truth, principle, theorem, fallacy. 504, camouflage, 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 disguise by blending in, concealment, disguise, reveal. 505, demolition, 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 destruction of a structure, wrecking, destruction, construction. 506, embezzlement, 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 misappropriation of funds, theft, misappropriation, restoration. 507, euphemism, 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 mild expression in place of harsh one, substitute, understatement, dysphemism. 508, figurine, 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 small ornamental statue, statuette, sculpture. NA 509, jargon, 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 specialized language of a group, lingo, terminology, standard language. 510, junta, 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 military group ruling a country, regime, council, democracy. 511, paraphernalia, 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 miscellaneous articles, equipment, gear. NA 512, quorum, 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 minimum number for meeting, assembly, council. NA 513, ratiocination, 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 logical reasoning, analysis, reasoning, irrationality. 514, resumption, 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 the act of beginning again, restart, recommencement, termination. 515, skinflint, 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 a very miserly person, cheapskate, miser, spender. 516, temerity, 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 excessive boldness, audacity, rashness, caution. 517, veracity, 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 truthfulness, truth, honesty, falsehood. 518, annihilate, 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 destroy utterly, obliterate, eradicate, preserve. 519, avert, 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 turn away, avoid, prevent, encourage. 520, bowdlerize, 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 remove offensive passages, censor, expurgate, restore. 521, dissipate, 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 disappear or cause to disappear, disperse, vanish, gather. 522, galvanize, 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 stimulate to action, motivate, spur, discourage. 523, incorporate, 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 take in or include as part, include, integrate, exclude. 524, infer, 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 deduce from evidence, deduce, include, misinterpret. 525, languish, 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 lose vitality, fade, weaken, thrive. 526, lope, 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 run with bounding strides, stride, gallop, trudge. 527, perpetrate, 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 carry out a harmful action, commit, execute, abstain. 528, protract, 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 extend in time, prolong, extend, shorten. 529, restrain, 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 hold back, control, curb, release. 530, animated, 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 full of life or excitement, lively, vibrant, lifeless. 531, comparable, 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 able to be compared, similar, equivalent, distinct. 532, corpulent, 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 fat, obese, stout, overweight, slender. 533, detrimental, 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 tending to cause harm, harmful, damaging, beneficial. 534, dexterous, 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 demonstrating skill, especially with hands, skilled, nimble, clumsy. 535, ephemeral, 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 lasting a very short time, transitory, fleeting, permanent. 536, expansive, 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 covering a wide area, extensive, sweeping, restricted. 537, frivolous, 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 not having serious purpose, trivial, silly, serious. 538, inclined, 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 having a tendency, disposed, prone, averse. 539, interchangeable, 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 able to be exchanged, equivalent, replaceable, distinct. 540, lugubrious, 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 looking or sounding sad, mournful, gloomy, cheerful. 541, mercenary, 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 primarily concerned with material gain, greedy, avaricious, altruistic. 542, meticulous, 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 showing great attention to detail, thorough, careful, careless. 543, munificent, 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 more generous than usual, generous, lavish, stingy. 544, musky, 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 having a strong, earthy scent, scented, aromatic, odorless. 545, noisome, 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 having an extremely offensive smell, foul, offensive, pleasant. 546, obscure, 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 not discovered or known, unknown, unclear, clear. 547, overwhelmed, 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 completely overcome in mind or feeling, overpowered, inundated, untroubled. 548, pejorative, 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 expressing contempt or disapproval, derogatory, disparaging, laudatory. 549, timorous, 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 showing fear, timid, fearful, bold. 550, voluminous, 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 large in volume, spacious, ample, compact. Unit 12. 551, adversity, 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 difficult or unpleasant situation, hardship, misfortune, advantage. 552, antipathy, 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 strong dislike, hatred, aversion, fondness. 553, astigmatism, 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 defect in eye curvature, vision defect. 554, bias, 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 inclination against something, prejudice, partiality, impartiality. 555, bombardment, 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 attack by artillery, assault, shelling, peace. 556, brochure, 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 informational booklet, pamphlet, leaflet. 557. Casualty, 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 person injured in war. Victim, fatality, survivor. 558. Cause, 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 a person or thing that gives rise to an action. Reason, source, effect. 559. Charisma, 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 personal charm, magnetism, allure, repulsiveness. 560. Chauvinist, 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 excessive patriot, bigot, nationalist, cosmopolitan. 561. Diagnosis, 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 identification of the nature of an illness, identification, determination. 562. Dossier, 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 file of documents, file, record. NA. 563. Expansion, 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 act of expanding, growth, enlargement, contraction. 564. Fledgling, 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 an inexperienced person, novice, beginner, veteran. 565. Gentry, 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 people of good social position, aristocracy, elite, commoners. 566. Impiety, 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 lack of respect for God, irreverence, blasphemy, piety. 567. Inkling, 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 slight knowledge, hint, inkling, certainty. 568. Jubilation, 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 a feeling of great happiness, joy, elation, despair. 569. Levity, 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 lightness of mind or behavior, frivolity, lightheartedness, seriousness. 570. Milieu, 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 a person's social environment, environment, setting. 571. Misanthrope, 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 one who hates humanity, cynic, recluse, philanthropist. 572. Prelate, 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 high-ranking member of clergy, bishop, cleric, layperson. 573. Rhetoric, 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 art of effective speaking or writing, oratory, eloquence, plainness. 574. Spendthrift, 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 one who spends wastefully, profligate, wastrel, miser. 575. Temperament, 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 characteristic, mood, disposition, nature. 576. Umbrage, 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 offense or annoyance, offense, resentment, pleasure. 577. Append, 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 to attach as extra, attach, add, remove. 578. Appraise, 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 to assess the value or quality of, evaluate, assess, ignore. 579. Assail, 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 to attack violently, attack, assault, defend. 580. Daub, 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 to coat with a sticky substance, smear, plaster, clean. 581. Document, 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 to record in detail, record, log, erase. 582. Exemplify, 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 to illustrate by example, demonstrate, illustrate, obscure. 583. Gratify, 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 to please or satisfy, satisfy, please, disappoint. 584. Imbibe, 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 to drink, absorb, drink, ingest, expel. 585. Pique, 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 to excite interest, arouse, stimulate, bore. 586. Preclude, 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 to prevent from happening, prevent, prohibit, allow. 587 proclaim, 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 to announce officially, announce, declare, conceal. 588 rectify, 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 to correct, correct, mend, damage. 589 saturate, 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 to fill completely, soak, drench, drain. 590 wax, 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 to increase gradually, grow, increase, wane. 591 derivative, 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 copied, not original, unoriginal, secondary, original. 592 earthy, 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 simple and direct, coarse, natural, refined. 593 gaudy, 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 extravagantly bright, flashy, showy, subtle. 594 hermetic, 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 completely sealed, airtight, impervious, porous. 595 intemperate, 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 excessive in behavior, excessive, immoderate, moderate. 596 monolithic, 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 uniform, rigidly single, massive, indivisible, diverse. 597 pathetic, 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 arousing pity, pitiful, lamentable, admirable. 598 soporific, 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 causing drowsiness, sleep-inducing, sedative, stimulating. 599 unassuming, 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 modest, not pretentious, modest, humble, arrogant. 600 involuntarily, 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 done without conscious control, unintentionally, automatically, deliberately. Unit 13. 601 animus, 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 hostility or ill feeling, hostility, animosity, friendliness. 602 anomaly, 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 something that deviates from the norm, aberration, irregularity, norm, regularity. 603 appellation, 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 a name or title, designation, title. 604 armada, 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 a large fleet of warships, fleet, flotilla. 605 assessment, 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 evaluation of nature or quality, evaluation, appraisal, gas, neglect. 606 bravado, 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 bold manner to impress, swagger, bluster, timidity. 607 deadpan, 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 a deliberately impassive presentation, impassivity, blankness, emotive. 608 decadence, 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 moral decline due to excess, decay, degeneration, virtue. 609 determination, 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 firmness of purpose, resoluteness, resolve, perseverance, indecision, doubt. 610 drudgery, 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 hard, menial, or dull work, toil, labor, leisure, play. 611 equinox, 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 time when day and night are equal. 612 facsimile, 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 an exact copy, especially of printed material, replica, reproduction, original. 613 foliage, 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 plant leaves collectively, leaves, greenery. 614 fracas, 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 a noisy disturbance or quarrel, brawl, melee, peace. 615 generality, 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 a general statement or principle, overview, principle, detail. 616 imbalance, 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 lack of proportion, inequality, disproportion, inequality, balance. 617. Indifference, indifference, indifference. Lack of interest or concern. Apathy, unconcern, interest, concern. 618. Numismatist, numismatist, numismatist. One who studies or collects coins. Coin collector. 619. Orgy, orgy, orgy. A wild or uninhibited party or gathering. Bacchanalia, revel. Sobriety, restraint. 620. Precursor, precursor, precursor. A person or thing that comes before another. Forerunner, predecessor, successor. 621. Pretext, pretext, pretext. A reason given in justification of a course of action that is not the real reason. Excuse, ostensible reason. Truth. 622. Recidivism, recidivism, recidivism. Tendency to relapse into previous behavior. Relapse, backsliding. Reform. 623. Tyro, tyro, tyro. A beginner or novice. Novice, neophyte. Expert. 624. Vignette, vignette, vignette. A brief evocative description or scene. Sketch, portrayal. 625. Witticism, witticism, witticism. A witty remark. Quip, epigram, banality. 626. Beleaguer, beleaguer, beleaguer. To besiege or harass. Besiege, pester. Assist. 627. Blurt, blurt, blurt. To utter suddenly and impulsively. Spit out, blab. Withhold. 628. Compute, compute, compute. To calculate. Calculate, figure. Guess. 629. Expropriate, expropriate, expropriate. To take property for public use. Seize, confiscate. Return. 630. Grovel, grovel, grovel. To humble oneself in a fearful manner. Cower, cringe. Stuntal. 631. Impugn, impugn, impugn. To call into question. Challenge validity. Question, challenge. Endorse. 632. Propagate, propagate, propagate. To spread or promote widely. Disseminate, spread. Suppress. 633. Pulverize, pulverize, pulverize. To reduce to fine particles. Grind, crush. Assemble. 634. Relocate, relocate, relocate. To move to a new place. Move, transfer. Remain. 635. Arcane, arcane, arcane. Understood by few, mysterious. Esoteric, enigmatic. Clear. 636. Bucolic, bucolic, bucolic. Pertaining to the countryside. Rural. Rustic, pastoral, urban. 637. Civil, civil, civil. Polite and courteous. Courteous, respectful. Rude, uncivil. 638. Fallible, fallible, fallible. Capable of error. Imperfect, erring. Infallible. 639. Frail, frail, frail. Physically weak. Fragile, delicate. Robust. 640. Gnarled, gnarled, gnarled. Knobbly, rough, and twisted, especially with age. Twisted, rugged, smooth. 641. Inanimate, inanimate, inanimate. Not alive, especially not humans or animals. Lifeless, inert, animated. 642. Inexorable, inexorable, inexorable. Impossible to stop. Relentless, unavoidable, avoidable. 643. Invulnerable, invulnerable, invulnerable. Incapable of being wounded or injured. Impregnable, immune, vulnerable. 644. Pied, pied, pied. Having two or more colors and blotches. Multicolored, variegated. Uniform. 645. Premeditated, premeditated, premeditated. Planned or thought out beforehand. Planned, deliberate. spontaneous. 646, sensual, 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 relating to gratification of the senses. Erotic, voluptuous, chaste. 647, sodden, 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 thoroughly soaked with liquid, drenched, saturated, dry. 648, stringent, 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 strict, precise and exacting, strict, severe, lenient. 649, uncanny, 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 eerily strange, eerie, mysterious, ordinary. 650, widespread, 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 distributed over a large area or many people, extensive, prevalent, rare, limited. Unit 14. 651, aristocracy, 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 a class of people holding exceptional rank and privileges. Nobility, elite, commoners, proletariat. 652, artifact, 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 an object made by humans, often historical, relic, antiquity, natural object. 653, coiffure, 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 a person's hairstyle, hairdo, hairstyle, dishevelment. 654, constituent, 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 a part of a whole, a voting member, component, voter, whole, entirety. 655, correlation, 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 a mutual relationship or connection, link, association, disconnection, separation. 656, egoism, 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 self-centeredness, selfishness, egotism, altruism, selflessness. 657, exodus, 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 a mass departure, migration, evacuation, arrival, influx. 658, extradition, 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 surrender of a criminal to the jurisdiction where crime was committed, deportation, transfer, asylum. 659, laggard, 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 a person who makes slow progress, straggler, dawdler, leader, pace setter. 660, liability, 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 a responsibility or disadvantage, obligation, burden, asset, advantage. 661, malingerer, 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 a person who pretends illness to avoid duty, shirker, slacker, worker, contributor. 662, nadir, 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 the lowest point, rock bottom, depth, zenith, peak. 663, nuance, 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 a subtle difference or distinction, shade, subtlety, obviousness, bluntness. 664, pigment, 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 a substance that gives color, dye, coloring, bleach. 665, propensity, 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 a natural inclination or tendency, predisposition, leaning, aversion, disinclination. 666, saga, 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 a long story of heroic achievement, epic, chronicle, anecdote. 667, scad, 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 a large number or quantity, abundance, plethora, scarcity, lack. 668, sedition, 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 conduct inciting rebellion, insurrection, revolt, obedience, loyalty. 669, sluggard, 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 a lazy person, idler, loafer, go-getter, dynamo. 670, stint, 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 a period of time spent doing something, spell, term, indulgence, surplus. 671, attain, 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 to achieve or reach, achieve, accomplish, fail, miss. 672, canter, 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 to ride at a moderate pace, lope, trot, gallop, race. 673. Castigate, castigate, castigate. To criticize or punish severely. Chastise, reprimand. Praise, commend. 674. Chaffing, chaffing, chaffing. To tease or make fun of in a good-natured way. Bantering, joking. Seriousness. 675. Cloister, cloister, cloister. To seclude or shut up in a monastery. Seclude, isolate. Expose, socialize. 676. Disconcert, disconcert, disconcert. To disturb the composure of. Unsettle, fluster. Reassure, calm. 677. Disenfranchise, disenfranchise, disenfranchise. To deprive of the right to vote or other rights. Deprive, exclude. Empower, enfranchise. 678. Expurgate, expurgate, expurgate. To remove objectionable material. Censor, purge. Include, permit. 679. Laud, laud, laud. To praise highly. Extol, acclaim. Criticize, denounce. 680. Leaven, leaven, leaven. To make something rise or lighter. To enliven. Raise, lighten. Flatten, deaden. 681. Placate, placate, placate. To soothe or pacify, especially by concessions. Appease, mollify. Provoke, enrage. 682. Retort, retort, retort. To reply sharply or angrily. Rebut, counter. Ignore, concede. 683. Tari, tari, tari. To delay or linger. Linger, loiter. Hasten, hurry. 684. Callous, callous, callous. Emotionally insensitive or unfeeling. Heartless, insensitive. Compassionate, caring. 685. Despondent, despondent, despondent. In low spirits from loss of hope or courage. Disheartened, dejected. Hopeful, cheerful. 686. Emaciated, emaciated, emaciated. Abnormally thin or weak. Gaunt, skeletal. Plump, robust. 687. Fraudulent, fraudulent, fraudulent. Deceitful or dishonest. Deceptive, dishonest. Honest, truthful. 688. Fruitless, fruitless, fruitless. Failing to achieve the desired results. Unproductive, futile. Productive, fruitful. 689. Improvident, improvident, improvident. Not having or showing foresight. Thoughtless, reckless, wasteful. Prudent, thrifty. 690. Incandescent, incandescent, incandescent. Emitting light as a result of being heated. Passionate, luminous, radiant. Dim, dull. 691. Insulated, insulated, insulated. Protected from outside influence. Isolated, protected. Exposed, vulnerable. 692. Insurmountable, insurmountable, insurmountable. Too great to be overcome. Unbeatable, overwhelming. Surmountable, manageable. 693. Intentional, intentional, intentional. Done on purpose. Deliberate, planned. Accidental, unintended. 694. Nascent, nascent, nascent. Beginning to develop. Emerging, budding. Developed, mature. 695. Navigable, navigable, navigable. Suitable for transportation by boat. Passable, traversable. Impassable, blocked. 696. Pellucid, pellucid, pellucid. Transparently clear. Transparent, lucid. Murky, opaque. 697. Politic, politic, politic. Prudent and wise in practical matters. Diplomatic, shrewd. Foolish, unwise. 698. Undeniable, undeniable, undeniable. Cannot be disputed or denied. Indisputable, irrefutable. Debatable, questionable. 699. Uninhibited, 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 expressing oneself freely, without restraint, unrestrained, spontaneous, reserved, inhibited. 700. Rarely, 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 not often, seldom, infrequently, frequently, often,